please. Okay, you're good to go.
Okay, welcome everybody to the business meeting of the Oregon Agricultural Heritage Commission. First up here is introductions. I'm Bruce Taylor, the Vice Chair of the Commission, presiding today. And I'm a Fish and Wildlife representative on the Commission. So we should introduce the commissioners here. First one I see is Amanda.
Good afternoon. I'm Amanda Lowe. I'm the OWEB appointed tribal representative on the Oregon Ag Heritage Commission.
And Ed.
Hello, Ed Contreras, appointed to represent Fish and Wildlife.
Laura.
Laura Masterson, organic vegetable farmer, appointed by ODA.
Nancy.
I'm Nancy Duncrack, the DLCD representative.
Barbara.
Barbara Boyer, non-voting member, the liaison to the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board.
Doug.
Doug Kramer, I'm appointed by ODA and I'm a farmer here in the Willamette Valley.
Lois.
I'm muted. I'm sorry. This is totally wasted on me. So I'm sure nobody can hear me, right?
No, we can hear you. That was Lois Loop, a longtime commission member. I can't remember who she represents on history with agriculture and the public interest. Woody.
Woody Wolf, appointed by the ODA Farmer Rancher representative.
And Jim Bob.
Jim Bob Collins, I'm appointed by ODA. I'm a rancher out of Central Oregon and conservation construction as well.
Okay, do we need to introduce the staff?
You go real quick.
Taylor.
I'm Taylor Larson, coordinator for the Oregon Agricultural Heritage Program.
And Robin.
Robin Meacher, I'm the conservation easement specialist for the Oregon Ag Heritage Program.
Renee.
Renee Davis, acquisitions and special programs manager.
Let's see.
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa DeBartolavin, drought program specialist at OWEB.
And the person passing is OWEB staff.
Yes. Hello, I'm Nicole Bettinardi, and I am the exec assistant.
Okay. Oh, Stephanie, not last, well, maybe last, not least. Stephanie.
Stephanie is participating, but she's in a call right now, so
Okay.
she will pop on when she can.
Stephanie Page, acting director and longtime deputy director of Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board. Okay, I think with that, we're done with the introductions and we can move on to public comment. Are there any individuals wishing to present public comment?
Seeing none.
Okay, thank you very much. We can move on to the next order of business, approval of the meeting minutes of the commission's June 5th, no, excuse me, April 30th meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Any questions or discussion?
I will move adoption of the minutes from April 30th.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Amanda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes from the April 30th meeting, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. And we can move on to item D on our agenda, working land conservation easement grant agreement extensions. Taylor?
Okay, I think that's me. Yeah, so as you're all familiar, we back in March of 2023, the commission recommended funding 7 working land conservation easement grants, and then those were subsequently awarded by the OWEB board. And we have been working with applicants to get towards closing. Those grant agreements included a provision that all conditions of the grant agreement would be met within 18 months of award. And so they're all set to expire on October 28th of this year. Some projects are moving along quicker than others, and some are running into some roadblocks that are delaying things a bit. Some of it has to do with just administration of this program specifically. Some of it has to do with just the complex nature of putting together getting a conservation easement to closing. And so with all of that sort of like consideration, and this being our first time through the program, we're recommending as staff that we grant a blanket 9-month extension to all open conservation easement grants that were awarded in 2023. So that would take the existing expiration date of October 28th of this year and push it back to July 28th of 2025. And just to highlight, since we were in a previous world wearing our rural advisory committee hats, the commission, through their role as a RAC, will have an opportunity to consider whether the 18-month time frame is the best time frame to require all conditions be met of a grant agreement, including the condition, including closing the real estate transaction. So that'll be something we can take up in rule, but we're currently operating under the existing rule set, which has the 18 months to meet all conditions, including closing. And so staff are recommending that the commission grant a 9-month extension to all open conservation covenant and easement grants at the moment. So with that, I would turn it back to you, Bruce, for discussion, questions.
Yeah, any questions or discussion on the proposal from the staff to extend the grant agreements?
I'm curious if 9 months is still, I mean, if that's the necessary amount that you guys have heard from the applicants, or seem realistic to get to closing.
You want to speak to that, Robin?
Yeah, we did touch base with a number of applicants, so they're aware that this was a staff recommendation on the time frame. And yes, 9 months should be enough. That being said, there's always the possibility that when we start getting some due diligence items in from folks, that there may be needs that arise from those that might extend timelines as well. So starting with the 9 months, and part of that is we have some that are still moving forward for an October closing of this year. So it's leveling the playing field, also relieving some workload on our contractors. As you know, we use a contract appraiser, and so it does kind of spread the work out for everybody involved, and can help in that way. But 9 months is a good starting point.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments? Well, I don't think we need to belabor the issue here. If anybody cares to offer a motion.
I'll offer a motion to extend the grant provide an extension on the grant agreements.
Second, Doug.
It's been moved and seconded to extend the grant agreements, all of the grant agreements. Is there any discussion on the motion? Well, then in that case, we'll call a vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Nobody. The motion passes. Taylor, is there anything else we can do for you here?
Got a couple of announcements real quick. So you'll notice we're missing a couple of commissioners. Russ Holflick has moved on to greener pastures and is now a member of the OWEB board, and so will no longer be serving on the commission. And so we're going to be opening up a recruitment for his seat here very shortly, aiming to get his replacement in front of the OWEB board at their October meeting. That's his seat as a direct appointment by the OWEB board representing natural resource interests. And so you'll see some recruitment material from us very shortly. So, feel free to help us spread the word, and we'll be getting a new commissioner hopefully before the end of the year on that front. And then Jeff Reamer, our representative from OSU Extension, has also stepped off the commission and has been working with us to get a replacement. And so there's a nomination now from the director of Extension for Dan, and I'm forgetting his last name, I think Dan B., who has engaged with the program in the past, has expertise around farmland succession, real estate valuation, and I think is going to bring a lot of important expertise to the commission. So I think it's sad to lose Jeff, but I think we'll be in good shape on that front. So that will be going in front of the board likely in January, I think. Or is that one going in July? That one's going in July. Sorry. Yeah, yep. I knew. So we'll have 2 new commissioners coming relatively shortly. And then at the end of this year, we're going to be having 3 commissioners rotate off. And so we are going to have a fair amount of turnover on the commission, and we'll be looking for some folks to step into some pretty big shoes, and we're going to be losing some institutional knowledge. And so I think it's really great that we're getting this version of the commission as we're going through a rulemaking process and running another grant cycle here. But we are going to need to be starting to put some serious brain power and legwork towards commission recruitment here over the coming months. So just flagging that for everybody. And then, so at our July meeting, we're gonna have another RAC meeting, and then following that, there is going to be another short business meeting where we're going to get a presentation from Highland Economics on the final draft of the conservation management plan valuation report, and we'll give an update to the commission on the outreach. We'll likely give an update on the outreach around the outreach plan for the House Bill 3409, which is the natural and working lands funding that is coming to the program to support the conservation management plan and the technical assistance grant program that comes along with additional processes around engagement that we're going to be working with OWEB's newly hired or soon to be hired climate and water coordinator. So we'll give an update on that front. And then there is going to be a spending plan adjustment coming. We did have one of our easement grant recipients pull out of the program, so we'll have some recapture. But I was going to turn it over to Renee to see if there's a little question as process, whether that needs to go to the board first for a spending plan adjustment and then back to the commission, or whether we'll take that up in July and then send it to the board. So I'm not sure if Renee, if you got your homework done or not, but.
Well, I'm awaiting an answer to the homework that I put out there for a response. So my guess is that we would bring the spending plan rebalance to the commission's board meeting after the August RAC meeting, and it would be fairly brief. It's, as Taylor mentioned, the recapture of the maybe $250,000, I think, for one of the easement projects. And then there was a small amount of uncommitted funds previously, I think maybe $20,000. So it will be a fairly quick item. We would have you, though, thinking in advance about where you would put those resources. Not unlike the conversation we had with you about considering the 4 grant offerings and considering that the bulk of this funding did come out of the easement program, where would you want to put that in an updated spending plan? But I do expect that will happen at the August meeting, just so that we can follow the procedure of the board, the OWEB board, going through their spending plan update and then subsequently asking the commission to make the determination about across the 4 programs where the OHP funding would be allocated.
And I think that's all of the updates I have for the commission. But
So is there any action you need us to take with any of those at this point?
No, just when you see the recruitment materials for open commission seats, like I said, help us spread the word. And with your rack hats on, I would recommend reading Division 15 ahead of our next meeting and come with all your good ideas. And Division 10.
Thank you. We'll take that under advisement, I'm sure. Yeah. Commissioners, anything else anybody would like to raise? Well, I'd be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting at 4:19 p.m. Give everybody a little extra time of their day today.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?